Bridge to Nowhere hike begins along the East Fork of the San Gabriel River, tracing the river upstream for approximately 4.8 miles until reaching the bridge. It's an out-and-back route with a wooden footbridge over Laurel Gulch traditionally marking the halfway point. Along the trail, hikers must navigate 6 river crossings, 2 before the halfway point and 4 after. The September 2024 fire, followed by relentless flooding in February 2025, delivered a 1-2 punch to the river and trail. In 2 locations, debris flows dramatically altered the river's course, one at Laurel Gulch, where the footbridge once stood, and another between the 3rd and 4th river crossings near the rock wall below Allison Gulch. We'll examine what happened in each of these areas and how these events reshaped the trail. These 2 photos were taken from nearly the same vantage point. The terrain features align perfectly. In September 2024, fire burned the wooden footbridge, causing it to collapse. Then in February, floods sent a torrent of sand and rock down Laurel Gulch, sweeping away the remnants of the bridge and filling the chasm where the bridge once crossed. The debris didn't stop there. It surged westward, pouring into the riverbed and beyond, deflecting the river's course to the west under the weight of sand and stone. This picture shows the bridge's relationship to the main river in 2019. I marked the approximate current sand level to show you the depth of the fill. Satellite views confirm it, the location of the former footbridge, the matching terrain, the old river course. The debris flow from Laurel Gulch entered the main channel, pushing slightly upstream, but mostly downstream. The new river now curves around the edge of the debris, tracing an arc of scorched trees that mark the flow's path. With the river displaced westward, the easiest hiking route is no longer the old trail with its ups and downs. Instead, hikers now walk across the relatively flat debris field. And with the bridge gone, the remaining landmark that marks the halfway point of the hike is the sign that was past the bridge. But remember, you don't need to walk up to it. Instead, stay on the fill and hike upstream. The 3rd and 4th river crossings were located past the halfway point of the trail, just downstream from Allison Gulch. There, the river pressed hard against the sheer rock wall, making it impossible for the trail to continue along the east bank. To bypass the wall, hikers had to cross the river for a 3rd time, then immediately cross back for the 4th. When the water levels were low, the crossings were simple, a quick walk through the river. But when the river ran high, it turned deep, swift, and dangerous. The satellite views confirmed the terrain, the old river course, the rock wall, and the forced detour. That wall dictated the path until everything changed. After the fire and floods, a massive surge of debris thundered down Allison Gulch, choking the riverbed and forcing the main channel westward. With the area beside the rock wall now buried in rubble, the river crossings are no longer necessary. Hikers can simply continue across the newly formed debris field. I like numbers, so I wanted to determine the depth of the sand and rock fill. I needed a way to calculate its depth. Then I remembered a photo I took in 2019 of my friend walking along a shelf on the rock wall. This is that photo. He's 6 feet tall, which made him a perfect human ruler. I marked the sand levels on recent photos of the same rock wall. Then I used color variations in the rock to mark the fill height on the old photo. I worked with high-resolution versions to establish these reference points accurately. Using my friend's height as a scale, the depth of the fill came out to 16 feet. Now he's standing further back than the measuring mark, which would make him appear smaller relative to the mark. This overestimated the depth, but I only measured to the surface of the water, not accounting for its depth below the surface, thus underestimating the total depth. These two factors roughly cancel each other out. So yes, the fill is about 16 feet. That number was far higher than I expected. The landscape didn't just shift, it was buried. The fire scorched much of the trail, reducing fallen trees and dense overgrowth to ashes. With the brush cleared and 2 river crossings eliminated, hiking the trail is easier than ever. I've hiked it more than 60 times over the past 12 years, and this is the most accessible it's been. But that accessibility came at a cost. The fire stripped the trail of much of its natural beauty. Most of the bushes burned, leaving only charred root remnants as the only part of the plant still visible. These remnants dot the landscape. Some of the plants are beginning to recover, with new growth sprouting from scorched trunks. Along the river, patches of trees survived, but in many areas, the canopy was lost entirely. The reduced shade has dramatically increased sun exposure, making the hike punishing on hot days. With time and rain, the bushes will return, and the landscape's beauty will be quietly reborn. This is the Hiking Doc, reminding you that it is your responsibility to keep yourself safe.